Embattled Iebc Vice Chair Juliana Cherera is playing hardballs. Led by her lawyer Apollo. First of all, Juliana missed to attend the hearing of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, and she was represented by her lawyer. And then they came up with new and fresh demands that are only meant to throw a spanner in the works of the Cherera committee, knowing very well that there are planned demonstrations in their support. Juliana Cherera issued about 3 or 4 tough conditions that, in my very opinion, is not going to be very easy for that committee to pursue and to find her guilty. Before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching our videos for the last time with profound humility, kindly hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Kindly give our videos more likes so that YouTube can recommend them for more viewers.
Chairman, even before court, if you are provided with a petition, the minimum you'll ask for is 14 days to respond. This is a quasi-judicial proceedings. I'm bringing that one out so that you understand. The petitioners presented on 24th and 25th. We are today 28th. I invite this committee to look at Article 50 of the Constitution on fair hearing, which requires adequate time and facilities to prepare a response. Chairman, I go to point number 3 on that list. I've already indicated, Chairman, that this is a quasi-judicial proceedings. And there has to be adherence to the rules of natural justice. Yes. And I believe that is not asking for too much. At least that is what the Constitution says. And we can agree on that. We can't disagree on that. Chairman, point number 4 on that list. On 25th, at 8:50 a.m. in the morning, just before your proceedings, the President of this Republic, His Excellency, President William Ruto, tweeted, and referring to the 4 commissioners whose petitions are here as rogue officials. Chairman, the last page of this document, I put that tweet. The last page. And we can read it. The lords of impunity who destroyed oversight institutions using the handshake fraud should allow Parliament to hold rogue officials who put the nation in danger by subverting the democratic will of the people to be held to account. New order is rule of law, not wishes of big men. Chairman, where have I brought that issue? We need further and better particulars from the President in order to respond.
Now, number 1, Juliana Cherera came up with a demand to be given at least 14 days to prepare her response, because Apollo was arguing that whatever is happening is what we call a quasi-judicial hearing. And they are saying that according to the Constitution, they must be given at least 14 days to prepare their hearing, their response against the petitions. Apparently, Juliana was required to answer within 3 days. Now, Juliana forced that jailer committee to adjourn because for 14 days, and I think she was given 10 days, the hearing cannot continue when she is away. And I want to believe that she's doing this knowing very well that within 10 to 14 days, there will be new developments. Because Raila Odinga and the Azimio team are planning to go on demonstrations. Already today, as hearing was going on, a group of youths had come there to demonstrate in their support. Number two, Juliana came up with some requests. She was saying that on 15th, the president of Kenya, who is supposed to take over after parliament has discussed their fate, and the president is supposed to form a tribunal that will look into their conduct for a possible removal from office. And Juliana is arguing that the president on 15th did a tweet and called them rogue commissioners. And they were saying that they want the president to explain to them how he came up with a conclusion that they are rogue commissioners. And they are saying that their image have been dented and they are suffering malignment and injury of character. And they are saying that before they continue with the sitting, the president must come out very clearly and explain to them why, as a person who is supposed to form a tribunal for a possible ouster, the president has already taken sides by calling them rogue commissioners. And so they are submitting to that committee that already it is like the case has been decided even before they are heard. And I'm telling you, this is going to throw the span in the works. It's not going to be very easy for them. And the president must have an amicable way of resolving this. Number three, Apollo Mboya took issue with the fact that they have not been furnished by the Hansard from the chairman, Mr. Gitonga, as pertains the ruling after the Azimio wing of legislators withdrew from that committee, because Jailer committee is composed of members from the government side and members from the opposition side. So the opposition side, led by Junet Mohammed, had refused to take part in that committee, in that hearing, claiming that it was already biased. And the chairman ruled that they meet quorum. So led by lawyer Apollo Mboya, they said that they want to be furnished with that Hansard that explains how they reached a conclusion that even after the opposition side had withdrawn, they still believe they have the quorum. They still believe that they meet the requisite, conditions to continue with this ruling. And with all those three tough demands, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gitonga was forced to adjourn that hearing. And he said that the decision was reached unanimously. And I just want to repeat that within the days that Madam Cherera and the team have been given, I can assure you that it's not going to be very easy. Raila Amolo Odinga had called on them not to appear before that committee. And that's why the reason she did not come, but she was represented by a lawyer. Between now and the 10 days, there will be new developments. People will be running up and down, demonstrating against this decision to ouster Cherera and the team. And if you look at the economic situation that we are in, the government will not allow people to go to the street because we will be plunging into economic turmoil. And therefore, they will be weighing situations. What they will do is that they might come back on a negotiating table. Because if talks around Cherera is what going to cost them revenue, because the moment people go to the street, we are going to close doors, businesses are not going to take place, and people will be injured here and there, and they will be looking at this with intelligence reports and pieces of advice. I can assure you that Juliana Cherera knows what she's doing, and she has cornered that JLAC committee. And before you know it, this committee will come up with a report that they have not been found guilty, or that whatever they did, there was some simple mistakes that can be forgiven, and they will be given warnings here and there. But there must be a soft landing, because the cause she is pursuing is not very good for for that committee. And I'm telling you, she has cornered them, and in my very considered opinion, Juliana will go nowhere. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but that is my take.